Okay, so, the objective is to set up the instance, get you guys going with it, and then you can do the lab. So in the chat window, I have put two important information. One is the link to the classroom. So that's one you will use. And then second one is the AMI that Professor Purini has created, and the one that you are going to use in creating instance. So who is going to share? One of you have to share the your desktop, and I will guide you through that one, and the other three can then follow along and create the instance.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So go ahead and share. Go ahead and share, please. Share your desktop.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, I can see your screen. So if you, okay, so if you go back, log out for a second, because we are recording, right?
So, yeah.
And also log out from my classroom.
Yeah. Is this fine?
The other one also.
Okay.
Log out of that. Okay. So typically when you click on that link, this is a screen that you will see, and you will click on sign in to AWS Educate. And so you will provide your username, password, and you sign in. And when you do that, you will get this kind of screen, and you will click on My Classroom. And in that one, you will see on the right side, Go to My Classroom. So you can click on Go to My Classroom, and this is where it will, it just gives you terms and conditions for using a Vocarium.
Could you give me 1 second?
Sure.
Yeah, resume.
Okay. So, yeah.
You may want to go a bit slow so that other people can follow.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm telling Kunwar is doing a bit fast. So telling him to go a bit slow.
Right.
Kunwar, yeah.
Okay. So couple of things. If you click on account details button, and then if you click on show button. So this is something very important. You will need this anytime you want to move files to S3 bucket, okay, which is a storage bucket, or if you want to create an AFI, which is Amazon FPGA image, you will need to update these credentials, okay, in your instance, okay, just for, and we'll come back to that later on, but this is very important. So you can close it now and click on AWS console. When you come to this, you can click on services, drop down button, or there, or drop down button. Yeah, over there. Okay, and select EC2. Okay, so in EC2, you will see on the left panel, there is an instances, and then there is armies. So you should not have an instance. Click on instances, please. So you don't have any because you're not created one, right? And that's what you're going to do. Click on armies under images on the left. On the left,
sorry?
Bottom, armies.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, and then under action, no, under owner by me, sorry, owned by me, click on private images. And so professor has enabled you with this army, right? And now this is available for you to create an instance. So click on launch button. Okay, I'll wait for other people to catch up for a few seconds. Okay, don't need to scroll. So if you click on all instance families button, and then select M5, which is the fourth column, third from bottom. Yeah, M5. Right. Okay. And then that will give you various instances. You can only do M5 2x large. Okay. And then you click on next, configure instance details on bottom right. Now here in the under just below network, there is a subnet. You click on that field and select 1A. Okay. And then you click on next, add storage. And since 80 gigabytes disk space is already available, out of that one, about 40 gigabyte is available for you to do the labs and your work throughout the semester. This is sufficient. So you can click on next, add tags. And you can just click on next, configure security group. So right here, because you're first time you are creating instance, you will create a new security group and you will click on add rule. Okay, and you can click on our drop down button and select RDP. And the reason is because you are going to use RDP as a desktop, right? A remote desktop. So under customs, under source, click on customs and select anywhere. No, custom, select anywhere. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, now you can click on review and launch. And you can look at it, ignore those warnings, and click on launch. And I will pause for others to catch up. Click on launch, please. Click on launch. Okay, just wait here for a second.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I joined a little late, so I'm unable to access those links actually.
You are not a.
Because I don't see them in chat.
So can we do this thing? Kunwar, can you stop sharing and let Gayatri share?
Parimal, I think it's okay to go ahead because
Okay.
since
I just if you can just reshare the link, I think I'll be able to catch it.
It's in the chat window.
I will
The
put it in the
I joined a little.
Oh,
Okay.
You don't need the link. You can just go to your classroom on AWS. It's the same link for that.
Oh, okay. So I'll click on go to classroom there.
Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
class.
Okay, thank you.
okay, sure. So now, since you already, now you don't, this is the first time, so you have to create a new key pair. Okay? And then you can give some name that you remember, and then just keep it simple, so you remember, maybe Kunwar-AWS, something like that, that reminds you that this is for AWS. Then you can click on download key pair. And depending on your browser setting, it may put it in download folder, okay, in your directory, on your host machine. And then you can use it from there. And so now you can click on launch instances. So it is very important, two things. One is the name of the key pair that you have created. And second is where it gets downloaded. Okay, you should know. So this indicates that it launched, the instance has been launched and you are going, it's running. So you can click on the I-0A link and click on instances on the left. Click on refresh button. Refresh button is, yeah. Okay. So now what you have is the instance ID, and then you have the public IPv4. So you copy that public IPv4 by double clicking on it or clicking on it and do control. No, not public DNS, not public DNS, IPv4. The next column, yeah, there or next column there, right? Okay. You have to control C, right?
Yep.
So now you go to your home, host machine, and you open a PuTTY or Git bash or something so that you. Okay, so you don't want to copy that. Do you want to move it somewhere else? Okay, that's fine.
Yes, just for easier.
Okay, all right. So now what you do is you do SSH and -I, and then that PAM space EC2-user, EC2, not ECE, EC2-user at, and that your IP address, right? Hit enter, say yes. Oh, yeah, you have to change mode to 400. Okay. So first time when you do SSH and login, it does take some time to complete the loading. So this is
Can
where
you
it
show the
takes time.
command? So can you show the command which you just run again, the SSH command?
Yeah, so it says SSH space -I. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, this is where it takes, about a minute or so. So just wait for a few more seconds. There you go. Okay, now you're going to set up the password. So do sudo space password space EC2-user. No, EC2. Hit enter and set whatever password you want. Okay, so this is necessary because when you start the RDP session, you will be using EC2-user as a username, and the password you just created, you need that. After this, you don't have to go to SSH if you don't want to. Okay, you can get out of this here, and you should start the RDP. So if you are on Linux, is Ramina.
I think I'll have to download it. It's this.
Yeah, if you don't have it. Okay, we can start running now.
Yeah, it's running.
So now you have to enter your credentials like username and yeah, that's the address. No, I don't think you have to do that. You just, yeah. Accept certificate, yes. This is where you will put EC2-user. No, Kunwar. It will be EC2-user. And then your password. Okay. Just take a few seconds.
Yeah, I think it's running.
Okay. So you can, under applications, you can open a terminal window.
But why is
System
the
tool. Sorry?
Parimal, that's Ramina? It's the geometry doesn't look. It's not looking good. It's not the regular desktop is not coming.
Yeah, he needs to set the setting, change the settings of the display.
Okay.
Yeah, there.
Nice.
Yeah. So under applications, system tools, and then you can do terminal. Or the other one is like a black background and white characters. So depending on what you want to use. Okay. So if you do which space Vitis, okay, so you do have that tool. So everything else is good to go. All right. One of the things, let me put in the chat window another link. This is, I don't know what the professor wants you to do, but this is where we do have a training material. If he wants you to follow, you do that. Okay. Yeah. If you scroll down, so this just tells you how to log in and all that, which you already have it. Keep going down, please. I'll scroll down quite a bit. All that is done, right, for you. You're not using DCB, so skip that. VNC, you're not doing it. RDP is what you did, okay? And then if you lab setup, so in lab setup, don't do that. The fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, git clone HTTPS Okay, that's what you have to do. And so no, don't do that. Typically, it's up to you. I should not say don't do it. It's up to you how you want to manage it. But all the instructions are going to say you do it in the home directory. Okay. So if you go into XUP Compute Acceleration, you will see there is a docs, there is solutions, and there is sources. So if you're following the labs, you will use the sources. So if you go on the left, there is a left bar. And go to Vitis Intro 1. Okay, and so this tells you what it's about. Scroll down a little bit, and you don't have to worry about these two because they are already taken care. So step number 2 is what you start is Vitis. Okay, and you will follow Vitis, the tutorial from here if you want to. Okay.
So, Parimal, if we have time, shall we just go through this also steps and record it for once?
Yeah, I mean, if you do, I wanted to, before we do that, I want to jump to the AWS configure. So,
sure.
Kunal, why don't you go back to that same screen?
Which one?
The one that you were just showing, the instructions. Yeah, go to Vitis Intro 2. So in Vitis, and we'll come back to Vitis Intro 1. So in Vitis Intro 2, if you scroll down, so it goes through software emulation, scroll down almost towards the end. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. How to build this full hardware, right? So in that one, if you create an API, last lines or second last line. Yeah, last line in the red, it says create an API. Yeah.
Do you want me to open that?
Yeah, please. Okay. So click on these steps because you are the AWS Educate user. Right, so this is what you will follow only once, which is make directory.aws, check if it's already there or you have to do it. So CD, and it has to be in home directory. No, it has to be in home directory. It's already there, right? So go to that directory, do ls, and there should not be any file. Okay, so now you can do gedit space credentials. So if you go back to the instructions.
Can I just use Vim? It's easier.
Yeah, whatever, right?
Is this the correct name?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now go to your vocarium.
Okay, so
Yeah, that is the second tab on the browser where it says V workbench, second from, yeah. Click on that account details. Click on show and copy everything there. No, including default, right? And then paste it in that file. Okay, and do save. Yeah, remove. Okay, save it and get out of it. now we have to go do AWS space credentials. Space. No, sorry. AWS space, not dash. And configure, not credentials, but configure. I'm sorry. Configure. Right. So if you go back to the instructions for a second, so you can see that, we have to do all this, but I'm looking at step 2. We'll come back to this rest of the step 1. So this one shows you the access key ID and access key and all that. So by default, it will pick what is in credentials. So go back there. Okay, hit enter, and here you're going to say, oops, okay, do again, do enter and run it again. Yeah. And here you are going to say US dash East EAST dash 1. Hit enter and JSON. Right. So hit enter. So next time when you come, it will remember US East 1 and JSON. So you just have to update your credentials, okay? And then you have to run all this, all 4, hit enter, and that's it. All right. Now go back to the instructions. So this is important. This step is required. AWS. So let me repeat again. You have to, when you're creating an AFI or you want to create an AFI, which is according to step 3, that's a command, okay? But if you are going to do it, then you will require to configure, because this you might be running 2 hours later or next day or whatever. So at that time, when you log in, your credentials would be different. Okay, so you will update the credentials file through the Vocarium, and then you will run AWS configure and hit enter 4 times. After doing that, you can run the command that is in step 3 or similar to that one, because it's not complete, as you can see, right? Right. So now let's, as you can see that, there is no path. You have to include a path to include the XCL bin, which you don't have it. Okay. DC bucket name, which we don't have it. DCP folder name, we don't have it, and logs folder name. So XCL bin gets created when you run the Vitis tools and generate the hardware. The other 3 you do only once. Okay. So go back all the way and go to the instructions, please. If you scroll up in step 2, sorry, step 1, yeah. Start that AWS S3MB. Copy
Do I
that
need to, okay. Yeah, sorry.
AWS S3MB. Space S3. So maybe you want to check that so you can see. So S3 colon, don't copy entire thing. S3 colon, if you want, I can help you there. And then you give whatever name you want. So I would say Kunwar-S3, something like that. Something, related to you, and it has to be unique name, right? Make sense? Go back to the instructions again. And then you're going to say -- region and US East 1.
I think since we configured region, it will already be this.
No. You still have to do it.
Okay. Which one?
US East 1. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so it has created that bucket. Now go to the next step. And I would say DCP, yeah, dash folder if you want. DCP dash folder. No, dash. Okay, hit enter. Okay, so there is a subfolder created under that bucket. Now you do touch. Yeah. Basically creating an empty file, right? Touch files, go here, text. So you can copy and paste that. Okay, and then you're going to copy this file into the DCP folder. So you can copy that and just replace bucket name and folder name. No, you have to replace that. Right. Okay. And so now you're going to execute just, like that for logs folder. So instead of DCP folder, you're going to create logs folder. Yeah. S3. No, not DCP, not DCP, logs dash folder. That's fine. You can keep it logs, and no, you don't need to touch again. You can copy. That's not really necessary. You can just copy that. By the way, in AWS S3 commands, you can't do autocomplete. Okay. Good. So this is only one time you have to do. And now if you go to instances, so third tab on the top, yeah. And if you go the left side, under services, if you click on under services on the top, you click and select S3. And so you can see that you have Converse S3, right? So click on that and you see these two folders. And so remember that script that if you want to, you have to run, it will put the files, necessary files here, and AWS will pick it up from these folders because you are giving these folder names into that, okay? So one thing that you made mistake is you did not create that folder, you just named it. So unfortunately, let me see if I have option to annotate. So go back. Yeah, please. Go ahead.
I should have put a slash.
Yeah, you should put a slash. You can still do it. Just up arrow and then just logs. Right. Okay, and do copy with the slash at the end. Okay. Now, if you go to this, scroll down, go up here, right here, right? Oh, I was drawing. I was annotating.
I think I cannot see anything.
Oh,
can you try to stop it?
Let me see. What do you want me to do?
Like maybe cancel the drawing thing.
Okay,
Is that possible?
yeah, let me just, yeah, you should be able to now.
I'll try to
Okay,
make this
okay, let me see if I can delete. I didn't know why.
It's not like, I think Zoom tried to open some ribbon or something and it crashed
Okay.
with my desktop environment.
Okay,
Mm.
see if you can see now, or you can stop the sharing and
Can you try to kick me out of the meeting once? I'll
you have to
rejoin.
kick out. No, I don't think I need to kick you out of the
No,
meeting.
it's a problem on my end. Like, I cannot do anything until you remove me from Zoom, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay, more. Remove, and then you will come back in, right? Hopefully you'll come back in.
So Parimal, as Kunwar joins, the purpose of S3 storage is to have our files, any other data that we need to, we store it on S3 and move it into whatever the EC2 instance that we are running, or
Right, so suppose somebody has the picture that they want to upload it, right? That they
Yeah.
want to use it. So they might have that on their local machine. So how do you do it is two ways. One is SCP, right?
Yeah.
And second one is through S3 bucket. Similarly, if they have some sort of answer or results and they want to share that with you, you know, they can download it and then they can email it to you.
Okay.
So that's the purpose of S3. If your students don't need to do that ever, then they don't have to go through S3.
Okay, okay, got it.
Right.
Understood.
Oh, I need to admit him. Okay, he's coming in now.
Right. So,
Okay. So,
are you able to see now?
yes.
Yeah, Kunwar, go slow so that, follow the instructions, since other students have to follow what is being done here. So go slow, okay? And keep the screen in. Okay.
Okay, so I think we have covered most basic stuff. Step 3, what it shows here, that you have to do it, later when you are ready to do the hardware implementation. Okay, and please ignore regenerated.aws XCR bin. So step 3 is important and step 4 is important just to see whether it's available or not. But that step 4, you do it only once you executed step 3. Okay, so now if you go to Vitis Intro 1 on the left side and scroll down, and you can start Vitis as per step 2. Yes. Go to home directory, CD, yeah, and just do Vitis. Okay, so first time when Vitis starts, first time when you log in your instance, it's going to take some time. Okay, but subsequent time, invocation will be very quick. Oh, what happened here? Oh, it's coming, it's coming. Kunwar, you are going too fast.
No,
Kunwar,
I was just checking if my mic was open or not.
No, I'm saying you're going too fast because, the screen does not refresh.
Oh,
So I have to,
okay.
sometimes I have to say stop or no or like that,
Right.
So as I was telling, Vitis IDE, first time invocation does take time. Okay, I'm going to do create application project. And I'm going to click on next. And all this is given in the instruction. And then you click on add. And then go to AWS FPGA folder. Under that, there is a Vitis folder. Under that, AWS platform. And select that and click open. So it's going to look at that repository, and that's good. Click on next. And here you're going to give a name. So according to instruction, it's v-add for vector addition. Click next. And keep it empty application because we have provided you source files. So click finish. Okay, so now you can see on the left side Explorer, right? There are 3 subfolders. So v-add underscore system is the project, okay, your entire application. Inside that, there are 3 subfolders called v-add kernels, v-add system hardware link, and then v-add. So v-add is host, the files related to host execution. V-add kernels is to do with kernels which will get executed in your FPGA, and v-add system hardware link is the, you may have more than one kernel. So all those kernels are put together inside this folder. So first of all, you need the source files for v-add SRC. So right click on that SRC under v-add. Do import sources. Click on browse. And then go to your home directory. And under XUP Compute Acceleration, click on that, go to sources. And go to v-add lab. And do open. And since this is for host, you're going to select the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th entry on the right. And do finish. Okay. Now if you expand v-add kernels folder or subfolder on the left. Yeah. Right click on SRC and import resources. Oh, sorry, import sources. Yeah. Click on drop down button because it knows, remembers that. Click on that. And then click on the first one, which is your kernel source code, and click finish. Okay, you don't do anything on system hardware link in this, because I don't. If you expand that, you don't see SRC folder there. Okay. Now we need to identify which kernel you want to have it as an accelerator. So under VAdd kernels, double click on VAdd kernel project. Yeah. Okay. So now you can see that there is a hardware functions sub window. If you scroll right on that one, the third button is where you can add. Click on that third button. No, down, right there. Not plus. Yeah, right there. Add hardware function. Click on that, and it will go and look at the source files under VAdd kernels subfolder, and then it will show all the files that you have, and then functions inside the file. Because this is only one file, one function, so your kernel is already selected. You can click OK on that. And if you scroll left, so now you can see that you have kernel VAdd. Okay. And now if you select VAdd system in assistant view, which is bottom left. Yeah. VAdd system. And click on that settings. You can right click on settings or click on that settings button. Okay. And if you expand on that VAdd system, you have those three folders. You can expand under VAdd kernels. And because we are doing simulation, software emulation, you will look at expand emulation-SW. And then you select kernel VAdd. Okay. Here, if you want to make changes to settings and all that, you can make it here. Right. So because we are doing the software emulation, we are not going to make any changes because we want baseline performance, right? So you say either you can cancel because we have not made any changes, or you can do apply and close. Doesn't matter. Bottom apply and close. Yeah. Okay. Next thing is after you have done whatever settings you wanted to do, click on that hammer to build the project. Yeah. So what is going to happen when you do that? You will get this kind of unsupported. So click continue. And it compiles your application, which is under VAdd folder. Then you will click continue again. Okay, and so this is V++. V++ is for kernels. So it's compiling kernel. And you can also see kernel underscore VAdd. And then finally, it will do the linking. But since this is only, kernel you have, there is nothing to, just make XCL bin out of that one. So if you have used FPGAs, typically when you go through RTL, SDL flow, and you implement the design, you get the bit file, bit extension BIT. For this one, it is XCL bin. Okay, basically for Xilinx kernel binary file. So it says creating kernel still. And you can see which process is running because you can see circle next to it in the assistant view. Okay. So that's going on right now. That's why it says not built. It's not finished yet. It does take time. And in fact, emulation hardware will take about 10 minutes, just for your information. Okay, so that is finished. Now it's going to do linking. So last step. Continue, please. So you can see on the top, hardware link as a circle, right? Or wheel churning. So it means that's the process is going on. So the point to make here is if you select the top level entry in assistant view, then you can do the build for the entire thing. If you want to build something individually, then you can select that subfolder and then click on build. Okay? But typically you would select the top level and then do the build. Okay, and now to run it, you need to select the top level, which is already selected, and then right click and do run configuration. Run configurations. Yeah. And double click on that system project debugger. And then it shows all this, and settings wise, you can make changes. Click on program arguments, bottom right, yeah, edit. And it should show XCL bin, binary container 1, XCL bin, right? So say okay or cancel, doesn't matter, we don't want to change. Yeah, and do apply and then run, or just run because we have not changed anything. Yeah. Okay, so it's running and you can see that, it's done. Should not. Okay, if you, on the left side under assistant view, if you scroll down and expand under VAD, expand emulation software, expand that one. And double click on, expand that system. No, can close that one. Expand that and do run summary. Double click on that. So this opens Vitis Analyzer. Again, because it's running for the first time, it's taking a little bit longer. Just a few more seconds. but somehow it's taking a little bit longer today. So can you switch to browser for a second?
Yeah, Parimal, when I ran it directly from the top, ran yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So are we trying to see the output, right?
Yeah,
Whether
now we are, yes. So if you scroll down all the way towards the bottom, so this is all what we have done. Okay. Import sources, identifying the kernel, building and running the software. Okay. So, and then conclusion. So one thing that I noticed that it did not show us this found platform. So maybe we missed, scroll up a little bit, please. Emulation software, VX system. And finally compile the host application. So it should be.
Parimal, like when the hammer button,
Right.
or software, if or when we launch software emulator, when I ran it from there yesterday, I got that output instead of going. I don't know whether it makes.
So you are saying instead of VX system, you went to simulator.
Yes, launch software.
Okay. Right. So one thing you will find this kind of output if your resolution, the number of bits are, if you are using 32-bit, display in your RDP setting, then you will get this. So you have to set it to 24 bits or 16 bits. So you'll have to close this session and come back in, I think. Click on that and see, you won't find that because the session is going on.
Right.
Okay, so
should I do that?
Not later on, you can do it. Do file exit. So basically, it does have something there, right? So do file exit, and I'll let you guys work on it afterwards in interest of time. Do okay on the left, yeah. Left, yeah. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and close this also, file exit. Yeah, that's fine too. So Suresh, what I want to do is, because it's almost an hour, I'm going to show how to switch to F1 instance. So I'm going to close this session. This session means you can kill this Remina. Okay. So exit out or system log out on the system. You can do that also, or system and shut down or log out. It has same effect. Click on log out. Go to your browser. Make sure, so third tab, okay, you stop the instance. So to do that, you go back to services and select EC2, and you can see that recently visited also the same thing. Okay, so that is showing running. So you select that instance, and then under instance state, you say stop instance. Stop, not terminate, because if you terminate, you lose everything. Okay, and it says successfully stopped, but it won't update it until you hit the refresh button. Refresh button is that one with, right there. So it says stopping. Okay, so let it stop. So in this screen, you can see instance type is M5 2x large. So all compilations, all software emulation, hardware emulation, and axial beam hardware generation, you will do under M5. It's once you have created AFI and you want to test it on the actual FPGA board, then you're going to switch the instance type to F1. Okay, and I'll show you how to do it. So now it's stopped, right? So click, so it's selected, go under actions, do instance settings, click on it, and change instance type. And in the drop down, click on the drop down button and type F1. And select F1 to X large. And do apply. Okay. So now you can see there is F2X large. Again, please remember, you would change to this instance type only when you want to test in hardware. The reason is F1 instance cost about $1.60 for 1 hour. M5 cost about 30 cents per hour. So you have about $100 credit. You will burn that very quickly if you keep working under F1. Okay. So now if you just want to start it, you can keep it as F1 and click under instance state and click start instance. Let's see if it allows you to do it. Okay, good. So you're all set. So after it says running, we will stop and then we'll switch back to instance type. Right. So while we are waiting, okay, it's running. So now again, go back to instance state and stop the instance. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, run it again. I want to show you something. Oh, it's because it's still stopping, that's why. Sorry, my bad. Okay, try one more. Still. Okay, now you should be able to start again. Okay. Okay, pick that address, copy that address, IPv4 address, yep. And start RDP. Note that after it says running, it does take few seconds before RDP certificate is available. So EC2-user.
It's not accepting any.
It's not accepted. No, it's
Not accepting keyboard.
what about password? In password, nothing. Maybe you want to kill this.
Restart.
Yeah, restart, please. Right, okay. So Suresh, after this, maybe 5 more minutes and then we'll have to close the session. And
Sure.
when the recording is available, I will send you the link
Sure.
and you can download it and then share it with your rest of the students.
Definitely, Parimal.
Okay, open the terminal window. And then you change directory to XCP Compute Acceleration Solutions. And then hit enter and then maybe VAdd. I think it's VAdd. Check. Yeah. No, Vitis Intro Lab. Okay. And do ls. So there are, several files. First of all, VAdd is your host application, and AWS XCL bin is the registered XCL bin, which gets downloaded in the FPGA. So VAdd being host application, you need to make it executable. So change mode to +X on VAdd. Okay. And then do .VAdd, then space binary, and then auto tab. Hit enter. Okay, so you can see that it says in a found platform and then loading binary .aws XCL bin, and device 0 is programmed, and then it's running the vector addition program, and then finally it checks the output with the expected output and then says test passed. So this is something that it has done. It was done in the hardware itself. Okay.
So now the program, the kernel ran on the FPGA now,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
Okay, awesome.
Right. And you can also do Vitis _ analyzer _ and then do binary. No, not sorry. Go back. XCL bin. XC. Auto tab. Yeah. Hit enter. So this has all the connect. What do you call? Data collection. You need to do something about your RDP.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still opening. So if you click on timeline, bottommost, yep. No, on the left, in the left hand, right, timeline trace. Okay, so you can see the activity happening in the host, which is top one, and then activity happening in the kernel, which is the bottom half. Okay, and if you zoom in on the later part from about, from there, if you zoom in, you can drag also. So click and drag, yeah. Or you can do zoom full first. The next button. And then, yeah, click and then drag on the right. No, you're doing left. No, it should be the other way. And just do horizontal. Right, there you go. And now you can do plus also if you want.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Right?
Something like this.
Right. That's the area of interest, right? Okay. So I'll let you go through all the documentation and all that, understand it. So you can do file exit. And you can close this session. Okay. Go back to the browser, do stop. Once it shows stopping, okay, you don't have to wait for stopped status. You can log out. And the way you log out is click on the drop-down button. Not there. Yeah, third one, right. And say sign out. Remember, Kunwar, next time when you come in, make sure you switch to M5, okay?
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to cost you more. Now go to Workbench and go to the right bottom, right drop-down button and log out. And then go to My Classroom tab. My Classroom tab, and then log out. Okay? All right. Last minute quick question.
Well, it's all good, Parimal. Thanks a lot. Actually, I'm feeling very happy because finally we are able to run a program on the FPGA.
Right.
So feeling good about it. So thank you very much.
And you can have students go through all the labs or some of them, so you and Padmini decide how you want to carry out.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop recording.
Sure.
My control is.
Thank you, Kunwar. Thank you, Siddharth,
It's,
Gayatri, Sahiti.